They thought it would be funny to set up the broke single dad on a blind date with a deaf girl. But when the girl started crying in the restaurant, and he reached across the table to do something none of them expected, everyone watching froze in guilt and in awe. He walked into the restaurant confused, unaware that the people who invited him were secretly filming, waiting for him to embarrass himself. Tyler Morgan never expected his life to shrink into something so small, just work, home, and raising his 7-year-old daughter, Lucy, alone, after his wife passed from a sudden heart condition 3 years earlier. Every day felt like survival. He worked 2 jobs, school janitor at dawn, auto shop helper at night, anything to keep the electricity on and food in the fridge. He didn't complain, but he carried exhaustion like a second skin. His co-workers, however, saw something else. A man too kind, too humble, too serious, and sometimes people mistook kindness for weakness. A group of guys at the shop, Mark, Dylan, and Travis, liked to tease Tyler. He was the quiet one, the gentle one, the dad of the group, as they joked. So when they saw a chance to amuse themselves, they took it. Let's set him up on a blind date with that deaf girl. Dylan snickered. He'll have no idea how to talk to her. And we'll record the whole thing, added Travis. Could be hilarious. They didn't mean to be cruel. But cruelty grows easily when people forget someone else's heart. So they made a fake profile, pretended to be someone interested in him, and invited him to a local cafe for a friendly date. And because Tyler hadn't been on a date in years, and because Lucy said, "Daddy, you deserve someone nice too," he agreed. He arrived early, nervous, adjusting the collar of his only decent shirt. That's when he saw her, a girl with soft eyes, hands folded neatly, scanning the room like she was searching for someone's face, not voice. She looked calm, but her fingers tapped the table, a sign she was anxious too. Her name was Emma, and she wasn't part of the joke. She didn't know she'd been set up either. When he approached, she looked up, and her face softened. She signed something quickly, but Tyler didn't understand. He froze. She smiled apologetically and took out a small notebook. "Hi, I'm Emma. Are you Tyler?" He nodded. "Yes, I'm Tyler." Their first few minutes were awkward, but not because she was deaf, because he was terrified of messing up. He didn't know sign language. He didn't know where to look. He didn't know if raising his voice helped. It didn't. But he tried. He tried, he wrote in her notebook. She wrote back. Then she took his hand and placed it over her own as she signed slowly, letting him feel the movement. She was teaching him, gently, patiently. Meanwhile, across the room, Mark and his friends sat behind a fake newspaper, recording everything, waiting for Tyler to fail. But something happened they didn't expect. Tyler leaned forward and wrote, "Do you want to leave? You seem uncomfortable." Emma's eyes widened. Most people either mocked her or treated her like she was invisible, but not Tyler. He wasn't pitying her. He was simply seeing her. She wrote back, "People don't usually ask how I feel. Thank you." The boys filming rolled their eyes. "Wait till she gets upset." Dylan whispered, "He'll panic." But something else happened instead. The waiter arrived, speaking too fast. Emma tried to read his lips, but couldn't. Confused, she lowered her head. Embarrassed, Mark whispered, "This is it. She's going to cry." And she did, but for a completely different reason. She hid her face in her hands. And that's when the single dad did something none of them thought he even knew how to do. Emma's hands trembled as she placed the menu down. She knew people whispered about her. She knew her deafness made conversations clumsy for others. but the feeling of being a burden clung to her like a shadow. "I'm sorry," she wrote, pushing the notebook toward him. "I always ruin things." Tyler froze. That sentence, he knew it well. He had written it in his own heart 1,000 times after his wife died, after Lucy cried herself to sleep, after he failed to pay a bill. He shook his head firmly. Then he did something that made every single person in that restaurant stop. He lifted his hands, awkwardly, incorrectly, nervously, and he signed, "You don't ruin anything." It wasn't perfect. He'd only learned a few signs from YouTube while helping Lucy learn words for a school assignment. But Emma saw the effort, the respect, the sincerity behind shaking fingers. She burst into tears, not of shame, but of relief. Then Tyler did something even more unexpected. He stood up, walked around the table, and sat beside her, not across from her like he was judging her performance on a date. He placed the menu in front of both of them and pointed, then signed. Slowly, "You choose." Across the room, the boys recording fell silent. "Dude, he's actually trying," Mark whispered. "He's really trying," Dylan added, throat tight. Travis slowly lowered the camera. "We messed up." Emma wasn't just smiling now, she was glowing. They ate slowly, laughing by pointing at silly dessert names, using gestures, drawing doodles, even signing clumsily but joyfully. People around them smiled, watching something rare grow right in front of them. Kindness without performance, effort without ego, connection without sound. After dinner, Emma tapped his hand gently. She wrote, "Why did you learn sign language?" Tyler exhaled, eyes soft. "My daughter," he whispered. Then he wrote, "She had a deaf classmate. She wanted to talk with her. We learned a little together." Emma placed her hand over her heart. Then the boys approached, slow, guilty, unsure. "Tyler." "Man, listen," Mark muttered. "We're sorry." Emma looked confused. Tyler realized she didn't know she was part of a cruel joke. He turned to them with a fire none of them had ever seen. "You didn't prank me," he said. "You pranked her. Someone who's already been laughed at enough," had offered. Dylan stared at the floor. "We know, and we're done with that. We swear." Now, Travis held out his phone. "We deleted everything when they left." Emma touched his sleeve and wrote, "Thank you for standing up for me. No one ever has." Tyler smiled shyly. He signed slow but steady. "You deserve someone who sees you." Her breath caught. Then she signed something he barely understood. But he recognized a word. "Coffee." "Again?" He nodded, cheeks warm. When they walked out together, a little girl ran up shouting, "Daddy!" Lucy hugged his legs, then looked up at Emma, smiling bright. "Hi. Are you my dad's friend?" Emma knelt, smiling, and wrote on her notebook so Lucy could read, "I hope so." Tyler looked at them, two souls he adored more than anything, and felt something he hadn't felt in years. Hope. Real, living hope. They walked into the night as 3 people instead of 2, and the boys who tried to mock him watched from afar, crying because they had witnessed a man with nothing show them what real humanity looked like.